Hey everyone, I'm super excited to be able to share with you today some of the plants that I've already ordered for the 2024 garden season. So come garden with me. Let's talk about what I ordered and where they're going to go. So as you can see, here is one of my online orders. This is from Sooner Plant Farm, and I have ordered the Eclipse hydrangea that I spoke about in one of my Garden Plans 2024 videos. I think it was the first video. I think everybody maybe have seen that. This is an Excel sheet with all of the plant pictures in here that I had wanted, and this is the Eclipse hydrangea. I changed up this plan slightly. I'm not going to do a whole new plan, but these two kind of burgundy reddish blobs represent the Eclipse hydrangea. I'm not ordering anything else that's here because all of these, the heuchera, the bronera, the tiarello, the goshiki holly, all of that stuff should be pretty easy to source locally. But since the Eclipse hydrangea is new for 2024, it might be a little bit difficult to find locally. So I just went ahead and ordered that online. So let's go back to that. I ordered two of those. Initially, I thought maybe three, but these are pretty big hydrangeas, and that's not a really big bed, so I don't think I have room for three. So I just went ahead and did two. I also ordered a Goldspire ginkgo. Now, I don't think this is anything I've ever talked about. It's something I've considered for a couple of years because it is a tall, narrow tree. It's really pretty. You can see it only gets 14 to 16 feet tall with a spread of 5 to 6. I love, as you all know, probably, I love narrow trees because they do not have, down by my house, right around the perimeter, the side yards are not very wide. So I try to stick with narrow trees. This is going to go where the second flamethrower red bud is, and I'll tell you why in a second. I want to try to find a clip of a prior video to show you that. So this right here is the flamethrower red bud. I couldn't find a video with the leaf with the tree and foliage, but you get where it is. It's on the side of the dry creek bed, garage side of our house. We kind of stuck it here because we took the service berry out that just always looked horrible. We had this extra flamethrower red bud, and I wanted it someplace close to the house, and this just seemed like the obvious place. But in the back of my mind, I kind of was always thinking this is a 15 to 20 foot wide tree, so it's going to take up quite a bit of space here. And since the sun, you can see at this time of the year, it doesn't really matter. The sun's back here, but in the summer, spring, summer, the sun is like right up at the top of the house here. It's shining right down here. But when this tree gets big, full height and width, it's going to shade out everything behind it. And there's quite a few plants behind here in our rain garden and underneath the red bud. There is also the fifth Thuya Thin Man back there. And we are going to be adding some plants to the bed that we're going to come around and create kind of on the other side of the dry creek bed here, all the way down. So we do need something that's going to stay a little narrower here. I wish I could have kept the serviceberry here because that was also a narrow tree. It just wasn't going to work because of all of the pest and disease issues. So this is where that gold spire ginkgo is going to go. I think this flamethrower red bud is going to move to probably another new bed we create in front of our front walkway. I think it'll be really pretty and it'll work out a little bit better there. So that's where that gold spire ginkgo is going to go. These are not any plants I've spoken about ordering in any of my videos, although we do have the pumpkin spice heucherella in our two frost fruit pots that are right now in front of our top retaining wall. I only have two of those because that's all I could find last summer, sourcing those locally. And I would like at least three. It just makes sense to have more plants than just two. So wherever we decide to transplant those, we will have an additional pumpkin spice heucherella to go with it. I ordered a Copper King hibiscus. We had had two of these. Oh gosh, I'm gonna say I probably ordered them in 2019. They were behind where the chokeberries are on our top retaining wall. There is a bed above that retaining wall and kind of behind where the two hydrangea standards are. And they did well for a couple of years, but I feel like I don't know, they just kind of, at least the one started petering out. It would never come back quite as big, and I feel like they were not getting enough sun. We transplanted it last year, and I kind of thought it had started to come back, but it didn't. And the second one did not come back at all last year. So I'm not. It's very unusual for a plant to not come back that quickly. So I don't know if that's the whole issue, because the second one was always bigger and fuller, and it seemed like it was doing fine. And then spring 2023, it just disappeared, just did not come back at all. So I didn't order two, I just ordered one. We'll see if we can find a sunnier spot for that. And it's a quart pot, really wasn't that expensive. The reason why I ordered these is because everything is on sale from New Garden. Not everything, a lot of things are on sale right now at New Garden Plant. So I thought I'd give that another try. Not really losing a lot of money if for some reason, for some odd reason, again, this does not come back. And we already have Chocoholic Bugbane and Pink Spike Bugbane. We have two of each, and I would rather have three of each. These are at the top of the property at our sitting area, so that's where these are going to go. So, again, all quart size pots, which I've already talked about. I don't like ordering quart size pots, but most of these items are on sale right now, and I have never ordered from this company. And maybe, I don't know, I'm betting that maybe their quart size containers will just have better luck. The ones that I had ordered previously were all from one company and always had trouble with their quart size containers. So maybe I'll have better luck here. And then another thing that I ordered, which is not very exciting, not beautiful flowering plant, but it is something that I wanted a fifth of, and that's the eastern white pine. We had four of them planted at the top of our property last year because we have lost all of our ash trees, all of our cover, and I wanted something evergreen up there. Eastern white pines, and it's a natural area, so I didn't want anything like green giant arborvitae or like a haywire fall cypress. I didn't want anything specialized. Just the straight species, eastern white pine. We had four balled and burlapped ones planted up there, and this is going to be a fifth one, which is going to provide some cover again in an area that we really don't see from the house, but when we're on our top of our property, I'm just trying to close it in a little bit up there so the yard feels a little bit more secluded and a little bit more private. Again, and I will show you in another clip of a different video where those eastern white pines are and where this one's going to go. Okay, so I'm going to roll this clip and you're going to see the four eastern white pines we've already had planted come into focus up here. Fifth one, let me pause that. So the fifth one is going to go kind of in this area. It's going to be a little bit farther away from the four that are already here, but I feel like we have a spot here that we lost some vegetation as well. And when we are in this area now, which is going to become a landscaped area, of a sort. It's not going to be heavily landscaped, but we are trying to make this a spot in our yard where we can spend some time in. So we're trying to just create, again, some cover for ourselves up here because there's nothing evergreen on this side at all, other than a couple of wild growing eastern red cedars that are just very, because it was originally so shady up here, they are very, very leggy, very sparse. They're just, they're not providing us with any kind of cover. So again, that fourth eastern white pine is going to go right in this area. Now, obviously, I'm going to play this clip again so that you'll be able to see how big these ones are. These were balled and burlapped. Again, we had a landscaper plant these who did a lot of other work for us on the infiltration trench and the meadow. Obviously, landscapers can get much bigger plants than just homeowners can. I'm not going to be able to get a 7 foot tall, they're probably 7 to 8 feet tall, balled and burlap shrub home. I don't have a pickup truck or any kind of vehicle. I probably could order some from a local nursery, have them delivered. I'm really trying to avoid spending all that kind of money again. I ordered the biggest one that I could find online for a reasonable price, and obviously it's not going to be anywhere as near as big as these ones, but see if we get in a little bit closer that you can see. I mean, that's a pretty good shot. Those are really pretty. Again, the fourth one is going to go over on the other side of these fallen logs in this area. And then, again, not an exciting plant, but I ordered two Eastern red cedars. Again, these are on sale. Not a lot, but it's very difficult to find Eastern red cedars. We were supposed to have some planted last year with the Eastern white pines, and the landscaper who did a lot of work for us in the last few years did our top rain garden, the infiltration trench, cleared all the ash trees and put the meadow in, was supposed to find these, and he couldn't. He was just having such a hard time. I don't know. This was just post pandemic, and things were still really hard to get a hold of. So, um, I think he finally was able to find some in the fall, but apparently these are a fall dig hazard. So, uh, I wanted that job done. So I said, all right, forget the Eastern red cedars, just get us some river birches. And he planted those for us. And so now we are trying to source for ourselves some Eastern red cedars. I ordered two for a very specific location again, up in what was the woods. Again, it's a natural area. These will do well in an area that's getting runoff. So I ordered two of those, and now I will show you where these Eastern red cedars are going to go. Okay, so we are at the top of the property here. I'm going to roll this clip, and it is going to pan over to the left at the top where these two Eastern red cedars are going to go. I'm going to stop right here because here is again an area that used to be very, very dense forest, ash forest, lots of invasive vines in, underneath the ash trees. And obviously there's other trees here. I think this is some kind of a hickory. Maybe this is an oak tree. I'm honestly not sure. These are black walnuts. We have planted this. So since this video, this is a swamp oak. This is a red maple we planted over here. We have, I don't know if you can see in this little obelisk. There's one there, and I think there's another one here. Somewhere in here, we have two hawthorns, and we also have this is a log that was sunk into the ground to kind of slow down some of the runoff, and I believe there's another one here. That in front of each of these two logs is where the Eastern red cedars are going to go. It's a lot sunnier out here. Initially, I wanted some evergreens back here to shield us from the house that is behind, which is kind of like right up here. We really never used to be able to see that house, and now we can in full view. Um, Now, it might not seem like a big deal, but it is. If I couldn't see the house before, I don't want to see it now. This area is really open. We have three black walnuts here, and initially wanted the eastern white pines back here, but eastern white pines are not black walnut tolerant. They will not grow near black walnuts, whereas eastern red cedars will. And eastern red cedars can take a little bit more moisture, which I feel like on this side where most of the runoff comes from, it is a little bit more moist in um, moist weather. I mean, if we have excessive rainfall, it can be a little bit more moist up here because this is where the water is traveling. So again, the eastern red cedars are going to go in front of these two sunken logs. All this open area you see here is meadow. I feel like I would have liked to have had probably 5 eastern red cedars, and we may at some point come back in and put some more, but right now I don't want to create too much shade for meadow flowers that have still to germinate. There are a lot of seeds underneath this ground that have not germinated yet, so I want to keep it open until I see how those meadow seeds are going to take. If it looks like none of them are going to germinate, other than the few that I already have, then I'll come up here and I'll just fill this in, to be quite honest with you, with some more eastern red cedars. There are still some other trees left up here, but at least I feel pretty good that I could get two 5-gallon containers for not a lot of money, so that's where those are going to go. And I'm going to stop this again just so you can see for reference. Here's the house. So we're quite a distance, but again, we are just trying to reforest this area as much as we can. Here's the infiltration trench. There are some trees that we left that are fine. They're mostly oak trees. This was a stand of native elderberry. You can see our seating area over here. So that's just to give you all a reference of where we are at the top of the property. So those are the plants that I've ordered so far. I will be ordering some more plants probably early to mid-February to put in another garden area that I videoed 2024 garden plans video about late last year. So stay tuned for that. I hope you enjoy, and hopefully we'll see you in the next one. Bye.